Let's go live.
Yeah. Let's see if it works now. Yeah, I think we're live.
Yay! Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, you can share it and stuff. Let's see if people can hear us. Wait.
Sound check. Go live.
Yes, we can.
Woo!
Everyone can hear us. Yeah, amazing. Finally, guys. Finally. After one complete hour, which was it was so funny because we were making jokes about the fact that we know how to spend tons of money on Facebook and other platforms, and we can't even go live and stream like 12-year-olds. So thank you, and yeah, I know, finally sound amazing. So first of all, thank you for bearing with us because it's been a tough ride getting this one to work. And I know we're not even in the center of the screen, but at least now you can basically see us. Um, so if you guys would be able to start sharing and stuff so we could make it as big as possible and answer some questions and make it like a fun AMA, that would be amazing. I see that we already have like 13 people with us, and Christina would probably start sharing
Yeah.
it now so people would join.
Yeah, share it to my page and to
And
my
profile, yeah.
profile.
Hello guys, thank you for joining us. We have our dogs on our laps, and they are going to join us as well on the AMA. Woo!
Oh, cutie, I have her too.
So it's going to be a Pomeranian AMA. Hello. Raman wants to eat pau, probably.
Ask questions. Are you ready for questions? I think they probably know more about these two dogs. Know more about
They're like, we're sick of like media buying and stuff.
yeah.
Um,
All right.
okay.
I have a lot of questions from my followers on Instagram. I posted put your questions here if you can't join, in case they can't join but they want to watch the replay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go over what I have here one by one. People are very excited. First of all, would you mind telling about yourself, a little like short story, where you're coming from, who you
Yeah,
are, what you
sure.
do?
And it will also probably give us some time to get some audience inside.
Yeah.
So, I'm 30 years old, almost 31, I can't believe it. Born and raised
When
in
do you turn
Jerusalem.
30?
What?
When do you turn 31?
January. So the last 7 years I've been partying and celebrating my birthday on Affiliate Summit, which happens on the same day. So you know the time of year where like you get like really sad before your birthday, and everyone does. So I basically affiliate the affiliate world and affiliate summit in specific just helped me really skip that birthday sadness, because you can't really be sad in Vegas when you're affiliate partying, which
But
is a
why would
term.
you be sad? Not
Because
only get better.
everyone's like a bit sad when like before, like I don't know, like maybe I'm like a weirdo. Most probably I'm a weirdo. Like everyone I know gets a bit like sad. You have those New Year revelations and stuff. So that's something we do. Um, so yeah, born and raised in Jerusalem, sort of like a rags to riches classic story. My parents really didn't have a lot of money, and the story I usually tell, which is the truth, is that I heard my mother at a certain point telling her sister that it's the middle of the month and we don't really have money really to buy food and stuff. And my dream for her was like really traveling around the world, being able to eat at places and like really do fun stuff, except for just like working and just cooking and cleaning and stuff. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna become a millionaire by the time that I get to 30 years old. I didn't knew at the time that it's only going to take me a couple of like, not a couple, but almost a year. So yeah, the rest of the story is pretty much amazing. Yeah, I started off just working at this agency for exactly 365 days, which was the exact plan and everything. That's probably one of the only cases in my life that everything worked specifically like I planned it to.
Oh,
And yeah, you know, the wheels just really like connected. So I had amazing friends that supported me and guys that I really could have consulted with everything in business. And it was just like, you know, it was the really start of like advertisement on Facebook, and the pixel was new and everything was new. Remember the days of OCPM, which is now called basically a conversions, and they really simplified the things. It's still OCPM because you still buy through CPM and stuff. So those were the days. Like Black Hat only really started back then. You see, like yeah, it's gonna take like 60 seconds for Facebook to ban this video. No, I'm joking.
yeah,
Um,
probably.
yeah, but
I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about.
ah,
Anyway,
never
let's
heard
skip.
of it. So yeah, yeah, you know, the only thing that I can really think about is that Facebook became the hardest platform for so many people to scale. Like so many campaigns can really start and convert, and the ROI would be amazing at low scale. But I think Facebook, like if there's one big improvement that they should probably do is just like make it easier to scale, because you know how it is when you wanna, there are like certain milestones when you wanna spend above 500 or above 1,000, or that's when like CPMs and CPC really start to crack down on you. And like what would you say like the best thing to really approach it when you wanna scale? Like what would be your tips in order like to really scale smart? Would it be like more like in the creative side, more of like maybe the campaign structure side, maybe lots of accounts?
Yeah, I mean, we do scale by duplicating campaigns and going on different accounts, and it depends on the campaign and how fragile it is.
Yeah, I know it's a pretty wide range question, but
Yeah, but I think you need to have a lot of creatives and a lot of accounts prepared, especially now that Facebook is like banning you for anything that you
yeah,
do.
you can
What if
basically
somebody might
sneeze.
have whatever hat you are
Yeah,
wearing?
you just like upload any type of campaign and you get banned instantly, which
Well,
is
there are ways to go about like first of all, you want to warm the account before you upload any campaign, and you want to like make money with it, right? So you
mm-hmm,
don't go crazy with spending, and then warm it slowly and making sure that you know you're proving Facebook that you're a trustworthy advertiser.
mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah.
I'm just trying to get some questions from the guys here who have joined us. So if you guys have any type of question, and I see most of my audience joined us, but for some reason, maybe you should start hosting a watch party. You see that
Oh,
button?
yeah, watch party.
Yeah, and that would basically pop like a push or something for your followers. Um,
Let me do that.
so someone started asking about the best warm-up process for Google Ads. So
Cool.
yeah, I'm gonna start, and you said that you have a couple of Google questions, so that others basically could enjoy the answers for too. So the best warm up for Google Ads. Oh, that's a big one, because just imagine that Facebook is working so fast because of warming and correct use of the pixel. So just imagine that Google needs so much more information in order to start the automation process and really find the correct users, because Google obviously is cookie based and Facebook is profile based. So um, Google needs so much more data because it has, like, I think maybe 10% of the data points Facebook has. So the first tip that I could give is just implementing the Google Pixel. Even if you're not going to run on Google straight up, just implement it, segment the data, just create the audiences. If you're doing e-com, just make sure that you have the audience for the people who just viewed your site, the people who purchased, the people who added to cart. So you would have as much audience as possible. And also for Google has a different process of creating lookalikes, which is the similar audiences. You can't really just click on an audience inside Facebook and just say create lookalike audience. You need Google to create it for you, and it only does it when it has enough data. So that's something that you should consider. And so that's the first one. Second one would be when you don't have enough conversion data, just make sure you open up campaigns on a really low budget, and just make sure you start converting first before moving into any automated type of bidding. So there are so many types of, like, for example, inside Google you have the GDN, the display network, smart campaigns and stuff like that. Don't go straight up. It's very tempting because it looks like Google would do so many of the bid adjustments and would kill placements for you, but it would work so much better if you just start with some manual bidding, some really generating those manual conversions, really helping out Google, and then switching with that specific campaign to a more of an automated type of things. Do you want to add something? Do you want to
Yeah,
compare it to
I
Facebook?
actually have a question regarding Google, because I'm not a Google expert, but how would you take a campaign from Facebook to Google? Like if you had a winning campaign on Facebook, how would you you mentioned you need enough conversions. So with Facebook, you usually need like 25, 50 conversions for the pixel to start working and the algo to get enough data. But like how does that look like on Google AdWords or Google
Well, the
GD?
first, like my you could say basically a hack. I'm gonna. Did you take ramen out,
I
or
put
is she?
her down. It's just too
Oh yeah,
warm.
I'm gonna do the same because she warmed up my legs so much. So yeah. So my favorite trick would be just if you have enough time. Okay, so Google is so much about patience because you need to spend a lot more money. Like Facebook is really easy because it starts converting from the first day. But on Google, what I like to do is just like open up the first campaign as a retargeting campaign. So I would retarget on YouTube, retarget on GDN, and search remarket on the search network. And also I recommend, if you're using any e-com product, also using the shopping network, of course. But once you do that, that's the easiest way for Google to actually get some conversion data. So Google really differentiates between the conversion data and the audiences, like the remarketing data. So if you have lots of remarketing data, it doesn't mean that the conversions are going to flow easier. So you want to do, what you want to do is like open up remarketing campaigns at like the first one, and then when Google gets, like, it really depends on the conversion rate and the payout of the product and the amount of money that you spend, but there is a point where you can just open up that specific remarketing campaign into a more like a larger audience of like prospecting or just like cold type of audience, and use what Google calls a conservative type of targeting or a more aggressive type of targeting. And they actually switched the UI, and you can actually use like basically it looks different, but you can tell Google, okay, you got like 20, 50 conversions, try and find more people like those specific guys who converted, and it would work much better than anything. So that's the first part, and it also answers the question regarding how to warm up the audience and the Google account. Um,
Yeah, how to
So
do that? That
so
is the
so so
question.
that's yeah. So that's the first thing that I would do. Just open up a remarketing campaign, make sure it converts and starts looking for similar type of audiences, and then I like to duplicate it and just make sure I exclude the remarketing audience. So I actually really find those new users, and that would help us explode the campaigns.
Mhm. Cool, cool. Is your main focus GDN or do you also do AdWords?
Oh, so it's such a difficult question because it really depends on like the specific product. When I'm doing lead gen for a client or for myself, I would always include like some search traffic because that would be like the highest intent and stuff. By the way, did you click on a watch party? Did you do that?
I did.
Oh, okay. Because wait, let me see. Just want to make sure that everyone can see us.
Hold on.
There is the button of, yeah, you share the video, but you need to click on start watch party. So it would,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay, let me just check out. Um,
I think my audience is like really Facebook focused
yeah,
and
some of the questions. So someone asked, how do you decide when you test a new product? Is that potential or not? Do you want to start by answering that and I'll just join?
on Facebook.
That's his question. I don't know. He asked, how do you decide when you test a new product? Is that potential or not? I guess he meant like um, if the product has potential of getting bigger, scaling, and like being successful.
I don't know. Before I launch a campaign, I always base my decision on spying. So whatever I found in a spy tool, and if I see that particular product or offer in the spy tool, I would say yeah, it's a good thing to test and start seeing what you can get out of it.
So with a campaign that has like multiple geos, like when is like the point where you decide, okay, I'm gonna kill this campaign or I'm gonna test more geos or not?
Oh, we always test
Multiple
usually
geos.
multiple drills.
So on
Yeah.
Google, it's really a tough one because you can spend tons of money on GDN and even on YouTube, and then you basically get like a different kind of results or my testing would be just like see if I convert. Like that's the initial test. I want to see
Yeah.
if I get any type of conversion. I just shoot anywhere, and then I start like really minimizing. So I actually did a really good YouTube video regarding that. Like, how do you choose the initial bids? Like, do you start from like the ground up? Do you start from really something narrow approach where you really sniper target specific placements and specific networks, or do you just like use a really big type of bidding? Because just like the bully method inside Google, you have a different approach where um, once you start off with a big CPC bid, then Google would automatically give you a bigger or better the equivalent of a relevance score, which is the Google quality score, and that's a really nice and smart manipulation to do. And also, so there are three things, and I actually did a talk about it on the Affiliate World Europe main stage. It was how to manipulate Google system, right? So it's a really nice thing, and I'm gonna share two things that people really don't know. The first one is that the account score has to do so much with new campaigns that you open up inside Google. So the best manipulation that works 100% of the times, especially when you're running inside the search network, is just opening up a campaign. So okay, so Google has like a holy triangle where it looks for ad relevance, and ad relevance checks the ad and the landing page or the site or basically the URL that you're sending to. It checks the keyword relevance to the ad, and it checks like CTR and stuff like conversion rates and stuff like that. So what you want to do is start with a really small number of keywords and search terms that would give you the highest score possible. And once Google starts to basically get like an average of like a really good 10, 9, 8 at least out of 10 score, then just once you would add new keywords and stuff like that, then they would also they are much more likely to get that high score. Okay, so that's a really good shortcut, because some people just get like a list of keywords, they want to copy a campaign, they want to just duplicate an account that's already working, and they do that and they get zero results, and they don't understand why this account is like has like lower CPC and it gets like higher positions than they are, because it did that manipulation. It started out with a really narrow type of like number of keywords, and then it opened up. My second tip would be the fact, and that's a big thing that you can, when you're comparing Facebook with Google, is that Google really keeps an eye on the remarketing policy. So you can't really remarket a lot of stuff. So if you're doing, for example, any type of thing that relates to health, even if you are a dentist, or if you are doing any type of like loans or insurance and stuff like that campaigns, Google would ban your remarketing lists if you try to do that. It would close out all the audience segments. And one quick really manipulation that you can use right now is the sequences feature inside YouTube. So YouTube actually allows you to create a sequence of like users, so you can actually build it like a tree, like an email sequence, right? So someone watched that specific video, and then if he only watched that video and didn't watch that video and stuff like that, you can show him specific videos. So that's a big shortcut for people who want to remarket, because you can basically create audience lists of people who watched specific videos and then show them different type of videos. So you kind of remarket and filter out the people along the way. What Ramen wants to add something probably. Yeah, I remarket all the time.
Remarket.
Yeah, don't forget to remarket.
So, how many keywords would you start with if you are talking about just like getting traction in the beginning of the?
So it really changes between the volume of the keywords and the geo. Okay, so if I have like a really good long tail keywords that are relevant to and they have volume, because I'm not looking to test products with like $10 or $20 a day. So I would definitely add those, and then I would scale and scale and scale. And I always like to add a couple of match types. So the first match type that I would do would be the exact match type, and then I would go and duplicate that campaign with the same settings and do a phrase match, and then I would do a broad match, and then I always like to do a broad match modifier, and I would cut down the CPCs. So the exact match would have the highest CPC, and then the phrase match would have a lower CPC, broad match, and then the broadest.
So regarding the volume, how much volume would you say minimum? Like
Um,
10,000 or 10,000
No,
to
so it really changes. So it's like sort of like a scale. When I have like a low number of keywords, I would want to get like a higher volume, and when I have a lot of like long tail type of like stuff, then I just like to create an Excel file, and I just like to group them together. Like those would be the brands that compete with me that I wanna just target, and those would be like a really long tail type of stuff. And then I would create like tons of campaigns and tons of ad groups. But I try to build like a really narrow structure in terms of like the number of keywords inside each ad group, because then I could rotate the ads, and you would see that certain ads would match specific keywords and certain ads wouldn't. So you want to choose maybe up to maybe 6, and if possible 2 or 3 keywords per ad group. So yeah.
yeah.
Oh, they have a ton of questions. Let's see. So someone asked, what type of offers or verticals would probably get you the lowest chance of getting 2 seconds ban, and we'll let you scale on Facebook. So what type of offers are the least the least dangerous ones that you know, verticals or offers that are currently available on Facebook that you would recommend pushing, Christina?
What kind of, wait, I'm lost. I'm trying to find the question too.
Oh, so that question actually relates to both of us. So he asks, what type of offers or verticals have the least chance of getting banned on Facebook? That's what people are looking
What?
now. They are not looking for payout. They are not looking for EPCs. They are just looking for just
Not to get
running
banned.
something, you know?
Well, first of all, to not to get instant banned, think about like warming the account first. So it's not really dependent on the type of product that you're running. And second of all, you need to be 100% compliant. Facebook has been like banning every account because it's not following the policy that they have out there, you know? So you need to, that's what I did too. I went back to the basics and I was like, okay, because even if you have a lot of accounts, you're still gonna get flagged. And then I was thinking, why is this happening? Like I'm warming the account, I'm doing everything that I have been doing, and still getting flagged. So I went back and relearned, what are the policies and how I can comply better. Maybe there is something I missed in my with my campaign, that it was okay by until now, but now I really have to like make sure it's
Yeah.
not against policies. So I would say warm up the account and make sure it's compliant. Whatever the landing page and the ad.
So definitely 90% of people that complain about getting their account banned never got into the Facebook help policy blueprint and stuff like that, and then
Yeah.
they've never read it. So that's something that we can take as an industry like on our fault. But I can say that there are certain things that are really vague inside Facebook. So there is like that specific withholding type of thing, and I'm not sure that people really understand that. So I had a talk with like a rep a couple of weeks ago that really opened up my eyes. So every time the creative doesn't really reflect in a really transparent way what the user needs to expect when opening the landing page, when opening the site, that's withholding. Okay, so you really need to be completely transparent when the user clicks on the ad, what he's going to see. Oh, I love ramen so much. She's so fluffy today also.
Yeah.
um
So
so
yeah,
so
I
that's
agree. The ad should be very clear on what the user is gonna click on and what they're gonna see on the landing page. You're 100% right about that.
Yeah, definitely. So would you recommend any specific vertical that this guy could test out, or it's not really about the vertical basically, it's just about really reading that's your answer basically, right?
I mean, obviously not a black ad vertical, but e-com is very hot and popular right now.
Yeah, so just finding the right ecom product that suits him, and making sure that the Shopify, if he uses a Shopify platform, has all the terms of use and the policy type of things. Um, so this guy also asks about direct linking with GDN, and if they have a similar policy as Facebook, and you need white label bridge page. So first of all, if there is one thing that Google really hates, those are bridge pages. So if Facebook is trying to check if you have a brand or not, and if your Facebook page is a brand or just a generic page, Google is really like doing it. It's like a whole new level of like compliance in terms of like Google wants to see that there's actually a company, a product behind the page. They want to make sure that it's not just a bridge page that connects the user. So that's the biggest thing with Google. Nothing would get approved if it's a bridge page, and you guys should definitely look into what's a bridge page and on what Google considers a breach
Would you,
page.
would you call an advertorial a bridge page?
Definitely, that's a breach page, but there is a ways for making a breach page um, not a breach page. So basically, if that specific article is located inside a site and there is a logo and there's like an about us page, a contact us page. So Google, in terms of policy, like specifically breach pages, is something that combines maybe like Facebook with natives. So the bigger native platforms, like for example, if you add like testimonials, they want to make sure that, oh my God, we have the same chair.
Really?
What are the, yeah.
We
Uh,
have this dog.
uh, so the Google wants to make sure that just like natives, that the testimonials are actually linked to a Facebook profile and that there is an actual physical location for the company. So the mindset when you're pushing a product inside Google is just like really customer oriented. They want to make sure that the customer would have the best experience ever. So just like asking yourself on each part of the way, the ad, the experience inside your e-com store or your landing page, is that the experience that I would want maybe my parents to go through, yes or no? And then that's a good question for if you're going to have a hard or easier time with that. How would you restart AM from scratch with no budget? If you had to, Maor Christina, is Facebook a good combination to start, or should I look elsewhere? And what you think about the affiliate industry state of art? Okay, you need to basically translate it for me.
Oh, how would you restart affiliate marketing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, no, I'm trying to. Okay, so
No,
there
but
are a couple of questions here. Okay.
so if I had to restart affiliate marketing, I probably would, if I'm like very limited on budget, I probably would pick like a Legion offer, which has like a low payout, because the lower the payout it is, the more data you can collect, the more conversions you can, create and generate, and the faster you can make decisions, and less money you need to test.
That's actually a really good answer, to be honest. I'm getting that question asked so much because people want to get inside the industry. And I'm like, dude, if I had to start right now, woo,
Yeah.
I don't even know where would I start. You took it to like what offer should I choose and what type of maybe vertical. But like, if I could rephrase his question and like really ask you the same question in a different way, I would ask like, where would you start learning? You know, just like trying to cut through this crazy jungle of like fake gurus and guys who want to sell you courses that are complete bullshit. And like, where do you find, like, what would you start by going to conferences? Is there a book that you need to read? Like, where do you do that? Would you watch videos on YouTube? Like, how would you start, like, even learning about affiliate marketing? Like, guys want to start learning. A lot of guys know media buying. They are working at an agency, but they don't know anything about trackers. They don't know anything about has offers, cake, those kinds of platforms. So
Networks, or
where
how
would
to
you start that?
Yeah, I would pick probably one or two person that I would follow, And that's the thing, like today, when I started, there wasn't like Facebook groups, or there wasn't like any people openly sharing. There were like a couple of forums, by people, run by people, but like it wasn't like as active as like today, where you
Yeah,
join a group, you can
yeah,
like literally get a answer to your question within 2 minutes, right,
yeah,
from different people. But then you have to also think about all these people that you get the information from. Can you rely on their answer? Can you actually believe them?
definitely.
Should you like believe them? Should you take it as so I would pick like one or two people I would follow and think they're
Yeah,
trustworthy,
definitely choose mentors, and that's
and
something that Tony Robbins also says in his Unleash the Power Within, because I think personal development has so much to do with the affiliate marketing industry and media buying in specific, because it's such of like a roller coaster of entrepreneurship and getting like band and it sucks, and then you're super happy and you're starting to think about, you know, the Lamborghinis, and then you don't have money to buy food and stuff like that. So it's really tough. But what I wanted to say, I forgot. No, no.
Personal development.
What?
Personal development.
Yeah, I was talking about personal development, but
So
yeah, so
it's just
choosing a specific mentor that would be that person that you learn from is super important. But most important, more important than that is something that I tell people that I'm working around conferences, and there's this thing that is called Jolt that I'm also teaching on. And I always tell people how you differentiate between those fake and real gurus is like a fake guru or the mentor that you want to learn from is by asking yourself a specific question. Is this person making more money by teaching what he says that he knows, or by doing what he says that he knows? And if the answer is teaching, is like the first one is making more money by teaching, then you should probably skip out on learning from him. um, so that's,
fair.
yeah, that's a big thing. um,
What else is there?
there are no, no, no.
Okay, I love this. Would love to hear about scaling Black Hat on Facebook
Yeah,
in Q4. Skip.
skip. uh, any suggestions of how to use Google Ads for an e-commerce niche product targeting one country only? So yeah, so first of all, I would build a specific strategy for each type of network. So Google has the search network, it has like the GDN, it has the shopping network, and it has obviously the mobile, which is not really related to ecom, and the video network. So my first tip would be just build a funnel for each type of network. So the guys who would join through the search network would be a totally different type of targeting, regardless of the specific search term that they came from, than the video guys. Like, you need to build specific landing page and funnels for each one. And I'm doing it inside even natives. So the audience that would come from Outbrain is so much different than the one that would come from Taboola. So we always A/B test stuff. So the guys who already come from Search Network would probably know more about the product that you're trying to sell or the competing product. So you would want to have a specific type of page for them, and a specific type of page for the video ones. And also I would try to start with really low budgets when you're targeting videos and GDN, when you're running on those networks, just because those specific networks, it's so much harder for people who are not really pros inside Google to make mistakes, and it's so easy to spend money, Christina, on GDN and videos. You could just like say that you want to spend $100 on that specific day, and just because the bid that you placed was too big, it would overspend up to 100%. So sometimes you would put on like 500 for that specific campaign, and you would just refresh and see that you spent 800, and you would get like super panicked. So that would be my first suggestion: building specific funnels for each type of network. So
You
what's
run a
the,
lot of,
what do you say?
you run a lot on native.
So yeah, I run a lot of native right now. We're doing tons of lead gen and some ecom specific products. I hate it when they say ecom products, you know? It's like ecom for me is like having a full-on Shopify, Magento, or WooCommerce type of stores, and you have like at least 40, 60 items and stuff like that, so you can dynamically target them and stuff. And like a lot of guys use ecom for like a single product, which is like, dude, you're running a CPA offer. I don't know, maybe I'm just a dinosaur, maybe I'm too old right now. Um, so
But
if there is one tip that I could give to anyone that's running, I can think about a couple of tips. So those tips are going to give you such a big shortcut with natives. The first one would be only using server to server pixel. Okay, only using that. Guys who run with Facebook and Google are really accustomed to just copying and
Yeah.
placing the tabula or outbound pixel. It doesn't really work that way. You wouldn't get the right data and measurements, and it's so important with natives. If you don't have a post back or you don't know how to set a post back, you need to make sure you're doing it. Okay, so I've
Google it.
actually went all the way and bought like Everflows and has offers and like Leadspedia products just so I would be able to have a right postback solution to really have the correct measurements, do the bid adjustments and stuff like that, because you're going to spend money and you're going to realize that you got nothing basically. You don't have any data to optimize. Oh, she's so cute. Um, so that would be my first. Oh, I'm talking too much. Oh my god. So but like
No, no, no.
there's
I love the info that you're sharing, and I think people are loving it too. So
okay,
keep
okay.
going.
The second tip that I would give is like how to scale natives. So a big hack would be just using DSPs. There are so much DSPs that allow you to advertise on the big networks, like for example Outbrain. Just look for DSPs that allow you to really advertise there, and those DSPs have different algorithms and they're using the same inventory. Okay, so you would get to the point if you're pushing ads on like Europe, and you get to the point where you're spending 2, 3, maybe 4,000. The campaign is profitable, but you want to push more. You want to get more volume, and you don't really want to overbid and stuff like that. Or you're just tired of like the fact that with natives you have to duplicate campaigns and create more creatives and more creatives and more creative just because the algorithm sucks. So those DSPs would just push the same ads on the specific inventory uh, by just bidding on CPMs. So they actually have a lot of them have like UIs that are much better than the ones that Taboola have even right now, and they would allow you to sort of like autopilot and optimize on the go, and the system would just see that the CPA that you want to have is like, for example, 20, 10, $15 for that specific lead, and it would optimize inside automatically, or you can just like start to manually help them. But again, make sure you're using server to server pixel, and you can add traffic sources inside any tracker that you use. I use a lot of Thrive, but you can just make sure that you're getting the third party post back and do that. Don't run ads if you are not doing it.
Which DSP do you recommend?
Um, we run on a couple ones. My favorite one currently would be Zemanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Um, Maor, how would you start from scratch? I don't know how to answer those questions, Christina.
Again, another question like that?
Yeah. How would you start from scratch? I don't know. Could you answer it? Like, if today was your first day in affiliate marketing.
Um, from scratch, I would, like I said, I would follow a couple of people, maybe buy a course that would like, allow me to fast track, this whole process.
What do you think about going to conferences when you don't really know anyone and you're not really deep in the industry and you don't know that terminology, you don't know a lot of stuff? Would you do
Yeah.
that? Would you recommend a friend doing that?
I mean, I would first of all, I would join like Sky groups and get to know people on Facebook, and then start talking to a couple of people, and then meet them in a networking event in person. But
Not,
like going for me, it happened before that I was at Affiliate Summit, and I'm focusing on Facebook, right? But I got invited to an email meetup. like they're focusing on emailing. And I went there and I didn't know anyone, and I left after 15 minutes because I was so intimidated. Like, I don't know who to talk to, no one knows me here. I'm just gonna like go to another meetup.
So what I
So
like to do is really push myself, like in those types of situations where they throw you into a room, everyone is pushing SMS and stuff like that. Oh, ramen wants to eat you.
yeah.
So they're pushing SMS, and you don't even know anyone, you don't know that. That's the situations that I like the most because like
You?
yeah, because that's like the best stories of my life. You know, I've met my current partners that we made millions of dollars together. Just like having the weirdest situations. You know, I flew to Affiliate Summit 4 years ago in Vegas, and I just sat down next to a guy who became one of my best friends, and we're still partners. We have a couple of companies actually, and we crushed it on ClickBank, and went to the Platinum Summit in ClickBank and stuff like that, which is everyone that generated over $1 million in that specific year with them. So it's been a really nice journey. You know, I went like to conferences before, like actually the best like guys that I know, the rock stars, some rock stars of the industry have like really funny stories where like they went around conferences and people asked them, what do you do? And they were like, I'm an affiliate. Like, you know, and they couldn't even answer what they're doing because they weren't doing anything. So it's just like our generation is so much about fake it till you make it, which I really don't believe in. But I do believe that if you set up a specific goal that you want to pursue, then you definitely can use that specific strategy because a lot of fakeness would become reality.
Yeah.
Do you have
I
some?
definitely believe in networking. My whole the whole world opened up as soon as I tried started traveling and like meeting people in the industry, and like really, like you say, you bump into random people, and you never know like what's going to be the outcome of a meetup or
Yeah, it's
or a
crazy. You
networking
remember
event.
watching me, like talking to me with I forgot her name, but we were like standing next to a bar in the Ed Buyers meetup in Vegas, and it's so crazy when you meet people all around the world, and that's what like one of the crazy benefits of this industry. And people are like asking us about offers and verticals and bands, but this industry, I know, guys. Yeah, everyone wants to make money. We're in it to make money. I'm not saying anything that would depreciate that, but I'm just saying this industry is so much about creating relationships and having friends from all over the world at conferences. What are you looking for?
My charger, sorry, I
Your
forgot to plug
charger?
it my
We're about to
charger.
run out of battery.
I'm about to die.
Okay, go ahead and look it up.
I have such a big mess here on my desk.
Okay, I'm
Is that
gonna answer a Google question while
okay?
you are looking
Go
for the
ahead,
charger. So someone asked me about Google Keyword Planner competitive low, medium, high. Should I use the low, medium only when I try, or should I go high too? What do you suggest? How do you go about high, competitive, expensive keywords in a 2 to 15 CPC range? I know you didn't hear the question, but I'm going to answer it anyway.
awesome. It's Google related
So
anyway.
yeah, someone asked about the keyword planner inside Google, and should you pursue the low-hanging fruit, like the low and medium competitive keywords, or should you try and get like the higher competitive keywords as well? So my answer would start from telling you that you should not rely on the Google Keyword Planner. It's a
Yeah.
simulation. The display planner and the keyword planner are good for maybe looking for more keywords. It's good for like a really essential type of like really basic keyword research. But so much times that I've opened up campaigns and just added those keywords, I got different results, and the keywords that were super competitive gave me so much good traffic that converted, and sometimes the lower ones didn't convert. So it's a really wide question, and I can't really answer it without seeing that specific campaign and that specific offer. But just like if I had to answer it, I would say, first of all, just consider that the higher and more competitive keywords are more probably the ones that are converting and they have the better quality traffic, and that's why people compete for them. So never leave them and try to just lowball the bids there and get some type of traffic. That's the first one. Second one, don't forget that each result, CPA or CPL that you're getting, is a combination of your CPC and conversion rate. So CPC isn't about everything. You can even pay $15 per CPC if your conversion rate has the right numbers. So it's all about EPC. Don't try and narrow your mindset when you're researching and trying to get an account up.
Mm, yeah.
You said you have a couple of questions. You wanna go ahead and ask something? So,
Well, I had a question from one of my followers asking, what would be the next best Facebook? Would you rather go with Google Display Network or would you rather focus on native?
so I'm gonna override that question with asking you about TikTok, which I don't know much about, but people are completely buzzing about it. So what do you know about it? Like, are you pushing
I
ads
haven't
there?
advertised on it. I think they're opening up TikTok advertising just about now.
No,
Like,
I think people already have like advertisements accounts, but people are really talking about the next big thing with TikTok, and I'm really like super curious about what people are pushing there. So the next big Facebook thing. Oh, so in
they
terms
have
of
a TikTok account.
what?
They have TikTok.
No, I don't, but I should probably open up one.
Yeah, I
Um,
was just like a year ago or half a year ago, and I don't know my username. I had three followers.
I really hope that it's going to take us less time than trying to stream learning how to open up a TikTok account.
Yeah, right. Just open up.
So yeah, so the next big thing, I don't know, like, listen, GDN has been around for so much time and people are pushing so many diet and really big type of like offers that are super scalable in geos like US and stuff. So the benefits of GDN compared to so many other networks or platforms is the fact that it has crazy high volume even in small geos where you can't really push native ads because you don't really get the volume that you want. So it's about volume, and it's about the results that you get. The results are so much more linear. So Facebook would have the fluctuation that everyone knows. It would convert really good on one day, the CPA would go up the other. So it's really hard to get like to get a stable campaign on Facebook is something that you really have to work months on, and really be patient. Sorry. So GDN would get stable results, and it's also easier to scale. Whatever is working for you at $100, you can scale it to 300. You don't have to get scared. Christina, you know those memes where people are like, okay, I'm updating my Facebook budget from 100 to 300, and they're like super scared to really, publish the changes, because the account is going to explode. So it's not like that with Google, and that's one thing that's really big. But if I had to say what's the next big thing, I would have to say YouTube ads for performance. Up to this year, or maybe, yeah, this year, people pushed ads on YouTube mainly for branding. And Google's algo changes made it possible so that people could actually push products for performance. That's crazy. Like, that's a big change because YouTube currently has more inventory and more supply than demand. So you could buy clicks for really cheap, and there are a lot of different products inside YouTube from bumper ads, which are like the non-skippable 6 second ads, to the in-stream true view ads, which you don't even pay if someone didn't watch your video for at least 30 seconds, or if your video is less than 30, then the complete length of the video.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, so it's really big, and we're actually doing lead gen in Europe for a really conservative type of like offer, and we're spending tons of money inside YouTube, even more than we spend on a specific native platform. So yeah.
Interesting. So YouTube ads are good for lead generation and
Yeah,
e-com.
lead generation and ecom, definitely. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Uh, no, I don't have a course. I do have two Jolts, and I think Jolt is opening up campuses in New York right now, and they already have campuses in London. I know you don't know what's Jolt, right? Jolting. So that's like the non MBA type of school. It's like a
Huh.
startup, and it's an Israeli startup. They opened up in London and a couple of places in UK, and they're opening up in the States too. It's a really nice type of like environment where people actually sit around the table and you go and webcam to them. So it's like really
Oh
nice.
wow, that's awesome. And you
Yeah.
can charge them, or how does that work? Is it free?
No, it's not free. You have to subscribe and you get like coins each month that you have to choose. And they have a program called Namba, which is not an MBA. And you have to collect points choosing courses and then you get the non MBA. It's basically they're saying that the academy is basically for research only. And that if you want to get and be prepared for the real world, you need to learn from people who are actually doing stuff and not
Yeah.
just talking about theory because we both know so many people who went and paid tons of money for a degree that has nothing to do with what they are doing right now, has nothing to do with the real world. So they teach you everything from negotiations to product design to media buying to everything. So it's a really good type of environment that I highly recommend. There is a question for you here, I think. What would you do in this situation on Facebook for auto insurance lead gen? Find a winning copy and lender, build up 800 comments of social engagement, and scale with two campaign budget optimization campaigns, one for mobile and one for desktop, and scale up to spending 5K a day. Wait, I missed it. Did you find that specific?
Yeah. However,
5K a day and 8K revenue. However, as I leave it running, results get worse within a week and eventually go to break even. Even without the pixel has more data and there is a zero chance it's banner blindness as I'm excluding anyone who is engaging with the page. Frequency is also basically one. And the niche is enormous, even that I haven't scratched the surface. What would you do in this situation to maintain ROI and to continue to scale? Oh my God, first of all, that's a really specific question, a really specific case with all the numbers. Um, you want to go ahead and answer?
so a couple of things that you can do is I feel like you're only thinking ad side, and what you could do is if it's an affiliate legion offer, then you could maybe put into the rotation a couple of more offers from different networks. That could help. Maybe you would find a better converting offer. And also the landing page. I see that you have found a winning landing page. But there is always so much to do on a landing page. So even if you have a winning landing page, have you started doing any multivariate testing on it? Have you like dig deeper what you could improve on there? Have you constantly tested other landing pages in the meantime too? So I would say look at if on the ad side you cannot do much because Facebook is being a bitch, then try to improve on other side of the funnel, so landing page and offer. How
Yeah,
would
but
you
how,
go?
how big is like frequency in relation to the CPM and CPC that you pay?
How big the
How
frequency?
big is frequency? Like this guy is talking about the fact that he keeps his frequency to one, which I don't really think is the right approach because sometimes people have to see your ad one, two, three, four, six, 11 times in order to convert, buy or leave their details. So I don't think that using a
And
more like
and how big is the audience?
he
So
says
like
that
there,
the audience is enormous, so he's
yeah,
not even
but
scratching the surface.
I have consulted so many affiliates, and they're like, "Yeah, I have a winning campaign, and the audience is enormous." And I'm like, "Okay, so how big is the audience?" And they'll be like, $500.
Yeah,
People have different meaning for different terms. So
yeah,
how big is the audience? Is it like above a million, above 10 million, 22 million? What is it? You know?
yeah, definitely. I wish Facebook would put like an audience to budget ratio where you have a suggestion, because sometimes people have like an audience of 50,000 people and it's working spending $100 a day and they want to spend 2,000, and then they don't understand why the campaigns went to shit basically. Uh,
Yeah.
but I agree with so much things that you've said about A/B testing the landing page, because there is always going to be a better one. And I also think that campaigns right now, even like white hat campaigns that don't have like big margins, you can create those bigger margins by just monetizing on the data. So if you have more offers, if you have an exit page, if you have those kinds of stuff, you definitely can just like add some offers to your tracker and make and see like what converts better for which type of audience when you're sending it to your exit page. Um, is it possible to get an internship inside media buying agency in order to learn? What would you advise me? So it's kind of I'm not sure I got it, but definitely,
Internship,
yeah.
like,
Some agencies and advertising companies, at least the ones that I know inside Israel, would allow you to get an internship, and it's one of the best ways. It's not the fastest way to get going, but yeah, like working at a media buying agency would definitely give you the
the head
get you,
start.
yeah, the experience that you need, even with larger budgets, and it would mainly take out the the scale part, so you're not really risking your own money, you're pushing ads for someone else, and if it doesn't work, you know, you've learned a bit more. um, any software suggestion for comparing performance across channels? What do you use?
Is there one out there like that?
I think there is. I don't know. There are a couple. First of all, there is Google Analytics, which of course you should use, because then you can see. But I think that it's like more of like a structure type of thing. If you have like a tracking platform and you really make sure that you segment each platform and each type of targeting, then you can basically see and compare performance. I heard really good things about Thrive Optimize, and which is like sort of like an add-on that you can add, a big add-on that you can add to a WordPress site. And there is also VWO, which allows you to host your own thing. Um, okay, I think, yeah, that's all the answers that we had. So that's all the questions. Sorry.
Uh,
Um,
so I have a question here about Google. So if you, what budget, basically is asking what budget would you recommend for testing a product or a campaign minimum?
so
Would $5,000 total budget for a new product be enough to buy enough data to make the right decision?
So I think just like inside Facebook, it's a matter of like CPAs and conversion rates and stuff. I would definitely try and get first of all a quick win with, like, just like you said. I think you gave a perfect answer regarding lead gen campaigns and just like spending money. But any campaign would have a ratio between the payout and the conversion rate and the amount of audience that buys from like the retargeting audience. Sometimes that audience wouldn't be as relevant in specific products, so I would need a specific campaign to really answer that, to be honest.
And the CPA too. And all that. I have a question regarding Google AdWords. When you create an ad, you know how you're like grouping keywords in different ad groups, and they're like different, right? Different categories or different keywords, different words. Do you customize all of your ads to each ad group based on the keyword list, or do you have one universal ad that you run to the same like ad groups with
Oh,
different
so
keywords?
yeah, so we change ads according to so many things. First of all, yeah, definitely we try and make the ads as relevant as possible to the keywords, but you can make them relevant in so many ways, and that's why I'm so excited about Google Ads because it's not just like plug and play like other platforms. You actually need to make sure you do all of those testing. So, for example, what happens if you put and you get different results in different campaigns, right? So, what happens if you get like you have three headlines? Sometimes it's much better to put the search term if it's short, maybe on the first part of the first headline. Sometimes you want to put it only on the second headline. Sometimes you want to put it once inside one of the headlines and once inside the description. And sometimes, like, the second thing that we do creative wise is we try and make them as dynamic as possible. So we would try just like if it's a Black Friday or just a limited time offer, there's an option of making like a parameter which would be a countdown type of thing. So the sale ends in 10, 9, and stuff like that. So that's the first one. If there is Christmas and those kinds of stuff, a lot of guys that run on the search network would just like create 4 ads, duplicate them, and that's it, you know. But creating a decent, solid campaign inside Google Ads requires tons of times. It can take days if you want to make it really the way that you want to make it, and it depends on the size of the campaign. You know, if you're going to explore and you have a lot of testing budget, or you already know that product already proved itself, so you want to try and maybe explode with a really wide type of targeting and a lot of testing. But just don't forget updating your ads, because people just like see what's converting, they pause the ads that are not converting, they leave the account and just running, because it's not just like Facebook where you or natives when you have to duplicate, you have to add, you have to change. You need to make the ads relevant. So if you're doing a home renovation, what happens on Christmas, what happens on Black Friday, if you are selling a specific gadget, if it's a listicle, maybe if it's a type of like article. So you want to do that. And the other thing that I would do is the remarketing for search campaigns. So remarketing for search is something that a lot of people aren't doing as well, but it's basically getting the audience that already entered your landing page or site or whatever. Doesn't matter if it's through Facebook, through search campaigns, and then once it searches your specific brand, a competitor brand or something like that. So I actually own a fitness center in Tel Aviv, right? So one of my best converting campaigns for a sale, for a subscription, for not just someone leaving a lead, leaving his details, is the remarketing inside search. So guys would just like search or enter through Facebook or Instagram to my landing page, and then they would search for a competitor. And only when they've done the complete journey, the complete funnel, and they search for a competitor, they would see my ad. And I tailor my ads specifically to that specific case study. So I'm not going to use the creative to say, oh my God, just like Facebook, you know, I'm not going to use the creative to say, yes, that's what we're doing, that's what we're selling, that's why you should do that. I'm creating much more like of hardcore, pushy type of angle, you know. I'm creating urgency, I'm creating a different type of value, maybe a coupon code, maybe something like that. So it's going to be something like, thanks for visiting our site, enjoy 20% off once you book in the next 24 hours and stuff like that. So that's the first thing that I would do. The second one would be sort of like a dynamic type of thing. If I know that someone looked in a specific category, like for example, if I'm selling coats, shoes, and dresses, and I know that someone is really into dresses, then that specific someone would get like um, a different type of ad.
Yeah, containing the keyword dress.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that was the question. Pretty much. Let me see.
So someone asks, for generating emails for affiliate marketing, in this case the debt or subprime space, what are the best traffic sources you would recommend for low cost leads? You want to get that one?
Uh, Let me try to find it. Holy shit, there are a lot of questions here. Um, okay, so for generating emails for affiliate marketing, that's apparent. What are the best resources? Facebook for sure.
Yeah, I totally
I
agree.
mean, getting email is easy with Facebook.
Yeah,
Just make sure you're very compliant.
make
For
sure you're very compliant and the pixel is going to do the work for you.
yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend Facebook. What kind of budget would you give an ad group and how many days would you run it before cutting it? CPA goal is $75. Um, Good question. So first of all, every time I do any type of change, and I think it's going to be our last question, and maybe we'll do
Yes.
another one which is
Let's
not going to
do
be at
that.
11 p.m. and it's not going to take us um, 10 hours to get up. Even Pau and Ramen went to sleep. I saw Ramen's little butt just going through the stairs like
Yes, she has. She
20,
was like,
20.
calm
Yeah,
down. I know
she's a ball
everything
of
now.
fur.
I'm ready to implement.
Yeah, so regarding that question, um, it really changes between the targeting that you decided to do and the campaign structure. So campaign structures are such a big thing. It's just like for guys who are playing poker. I don't know if you played poker, but it's like it's something that we compare inside poker to the seat that you choose inside the table. So the seat so much of the times determines so much of the game and how the game is going to be played, if it's going to be aggressive or not. So the campaign structure has so much to do with like how you basically change things. And I like to create a lot of campaigns inside of instead of a lot of ad groups. But if the CPA goal is $75, I would definitely go with the. It's a pretty generic, general type of answer, but I would go with the 5x rule, which means you have to spend at least I think 400 or something like that, just to make sure that you are getting enough data inside that specific targeting, inside that specific placement, before making any type of changes. So if you got zero conversions, yeah, you can kill it. And if you got some conversions, try and figure out what type of changes you can make to that specific campaign in order to improve it. And again, with running Google Ads, you need to have deeper pockets, you need to have tons of patience, and that's it.
So did you say the 400 would be the ad group or would it be
Yeah,
the
the
campaign?
400 would be any type of targeting if that's my specific CPA goal. Okay, so guys need to understand if you're just like starting with affiliate marketing, Christina gave you the best tip. Remind yourself that when choosing a higher payout offer, you
Yeah.
need to have deeper pockets and a lot of patience. Okay, so um, and patience also comes in so many angles. So it's not just patience when you lose money and when you're buying data, it's patience when you are also profitable. You need to make sure the campaign gathers enough information before you're scaling it also, because that's how so many campaigns go to waste. You know, people just convert good. They think, oh my god, I'm making 100, 200, 300, 500. I want to make 10,000 a day, right? And then they scale it too quick and the algo goes into learning mode again and they are freaking out because they are losing so much money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Christina.
Thank
It was actually a pleasure. and we'll do that again for sure. I know you're not coming, or you're still considering coming to Affiliate World. I don't.
Yeah, let's see. Probably not.
Let's see what happens. But I would love to see you as so many other people that are probably into affiliate marketing and learning from someone like you who has tons of experience. And you know, that's the best thing. You know, a lot of people come inside this industry, and I welcome each and every one, but like, experience is something that you can't really buy. You know, it's something that only time and like tons of failures and successes and stuff like that can
How
really.
many years have you been in the industry?
What?
How many years have you been in the
I think
industry?
it's my ninth year or 10th. Yeah. So from like the agency game, and you know, I saw the video, the affiliate world, the sellers world. I think that's their new conference that they are doing with the Amazon sellers world, that comes right after affiliate world, and they've made a really cool video with like going through a timeline of the years, like 2007 it was the agency game, and then there were push, and then it was like the having like an affiliate network, and then it was that, and then it was that, and they're saying that 2020 is going to be the Amazon year and stuff. And it really got me thinking that, like, yeah, you can still make money if you have an agency, if you have an affiliate network, and if you're even doing push ads. But it's such a crazy industry that completely changes, and the trends are changing every 6 to 12 months, and it's like super exciting, and how to keep up.
Die or adapt. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
anyway, I believe that what?
Thank you for your
Yeah.
time.
Thank you so much. And we'll probably do the next one in December or something when I get back from Affiliate World.
I'm down. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Bye bye.
Well, bye.